York seems like it's always been a safe haven for weirdos and artists, which is a group that we've always felt that we belong to. And we both went to private school here in Los Angeles, and they were encouraging of the arts, but I always felt like the weird guy at the party, kind of, and not necessarily in a good way.
I mean, even the artistic draw that they had was approached in a private school manner, if that makes sense.
But the main thing that was important transitionally for me was when I went to New York, everybody, and I mean everybody, was such a weirdo, but there wasn't that distinction. I didn't feel like I was a weirdo, and I didn't feel like I was dressing more weirdly and listening to stranger music, even though I was. It was a better environment to be my complete self. Also for us, a lot of our favorite artists, whether visual artists like Basquiat and Pollock or bands like Patti Smith and the Ramones, Talking Heads, there's something about the energy of New York, and we love Los Angeles, it's our birthplace, but there's something about the energy of New York that feels more like an engine.
I think the way life in LA is so much more secluded and you're on your own so much more versus New York, where you're literally, I'll just take this and feel bad. In New York, you step outside and you're with a million people, and there's never a moment, I mean, maybe at the last hours of the night in New York, you might be alone on the street, but that's so few and far between.
In Los Angeles, you sort of, I mean, everyone has to do what they have to do in their daily routines, but in certain ways, choose where you go, how you get there, and who you see. And you go from your house to your parking space in your car, you take the route that you've chosen to the location, your parking spot, and you go inside. New York, you're bombarded with so many different pieces of different kinds of culture, whether it's musical or art on the street or just crazy people on the street, different food that is, you're walking into the smells.
All the five senses.
You're smelling other people's trash. You're more part of the city. Los Angeles, you sort of like go about your way in the city.
You can choose how much of the city you want to be exposed to.
Right, and but it's been our experience that we've been able to work as a band and as artists more productively and more strongly here on the West Coast because of that pace of life. I don't think there was a specific goal as an album, necessarily what we were trying to express as one piece, as a debut record. Because of the way that it was recorded and written, which was over the course of pretty much 2 years while we were touring and going about our lives. In retrospect, the album feels almost more like a compilation or a mixtape of that segment of our life as a band and as artists. But we were traveling a lot, we were saying goodbye to a lot of people, going on our first long tours, just experiencing what it was to be artists in this band and the lifestyle of it. And so a lot of what's on the record is about that transition for us as people and as artists.
To touch on that for a minute, it's also everything as a band, including the aspects of the business that we were not accustomed to yet. So literally learning, as we were recording that album, we were learning and writing and then when we thought we had the record finished, then we'd get signed, and then they're like, we'd like to add a couple more songs and things like that. That we won't allow that on the next record.
I think from our experiences, we know who we're interested in talking to, and who we hope to speak on behalf of, and what kind of energy we want to share. I think there's tender madness in the process of any working artist, because you're chasing something that's very ephemeral, especially if you're a musician. There's this, in the writing process, this crazy goose chase of pieces of smoke that you see in your head, and you try to realize it in a tangible way. And with any creative process, it's like that chase, that ephemeral thing. It's romantic and it's beautiful, but it's also crazy. It's not something you can describe or talk about. It's just, I do believe it's a form of insanity, but not a a terribly detrimental one.
This is Papa.
And you're watching Ground Sounds.